Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started with our second media availability of this morning. We're now joined by Jimmie Johnson, driver of the number 48 Lowe's for Pro Chevrolet. Jimmie, you've had 9 career wins here. What do you have to do to get your 10th?
I think survive the snowstorm. See what happens with the weather. I don't know. There's and when it's warm here, there's a certain amount of rubber that gets laid down on the track that we all anticipate. With the cooler temps, I think being smart and trying to understand how much the track will change, if much at all, because of the cooler temps. I know we'll have hopefully some sun tomorrow, but that's really going to be kind of the guessing game, is how the car will change as the race progresses, and all that's really based on how much rubber goes down. So we'll keep a close eye on that. We've had a good record here at judging that stuff. We're excited to be here at one of my best tracks and looking forward to getting out there.
We're going to open up the questions. We'll go here in the front and make our way to the back.
Mike Hember, USA Today. No less a judge than Chase Elliott has just proclaimed you the greatest NASCAR driver of all time. So I want you to know that in case you missed it.
I'll take it.
When it's, regardless of the track conditions and how the car responds, when it's really cold in a race, like it apparently is going to be tomorrow or whenever we race, do you know that much about that in the car? Is it cold in the car, or is it just when it's like in the 40s, is it better for you really?
Yeah, the air temp does make a difference in the car. Certainly a cooler environment outside means a cooler environment inside. I think humidity has a really large role in that. For whatever reason, like we'll go to New Hampshire and it's not all that warm, but pretty thick air. And you always get hot and cooked and worked hard in the car there. I don't think we'll have that problem here today, but just kind of on a side note, I think humidity is probably one of the bigger issues that we deal with. So it'll be a little easier on the equipment. Brakes will cool better, engines will cool better. Crew chiefs will probably put more tape on though to get it back up to that optimum area. I think at the end of the day, the hardest thing is going to be, if we do qualify, just getting enough tire temp so that you can put down a lap in a few laps. Laps on the tires do affect things here. Restarts will be kind of tricky with the colder temps, so I really feel tire-related temperatures will be the biggest hurdle to deal with cool temps, and after that, it just makes life easier for the rest of the areas.
We'll go next to Caleb.
Caleb Whistler, kicking the tires with next weekend being Easter. What are your Easter plans and your thoughts going into Texas with year 2 of the repave?
Yeah, we're definitely going to take some time and hopefully head out on a trip Monday if we're not here racing. But back for Easter. We want to have Easter in Charlotte and be home and enjoy kind of a slow week leading into another long stretch of racing and head over to Texas.
Okay, we'll go here in the back.
Brian Nelson with Motor Racing Network. Jimmie, when you talk about, I guess today's forecast looks like the deeper we get in the afternoon, the greater the opportunity for weather. So as you've kind of laid out a practice strategy, is qualifying canceled a foregone conclusion for the 48 team, and how does that impact your practice, whether you're working on race strategy most of the day or qualifying, and what would having no opportunity to qualify mean to how you run the race?
Yeah, I would like to qualify. I think we'd start better than wherever we're on point, 17th or 18th, whatever it is. So that's going to hurt on pit stall pick, and then obviously track position to start the race. So that element, I'd love to have the opportunity to have a better shot and work my way forward. Fortunately, though, this is an impound race, so I think the entire field, everybody will be in race trim, and if you get a chance with 10 minutes remaining of the second practice, try to run a Q lap or something and get a balance check there. So I think the schedule plays into, or it just favors everybody, makes it a little easier. The rhythm is kind of already set in place, and regardless of the weather, we'll all be running race laps.
We'll go next here.
Yeah, Jimmie, Al Pearson, Auto Week. The 2,000-pound elephant in this room is that you have not won since last June, the longest slump of your career. Does that puzzle you or embarrass you or make you call into your mind, maybe I'm not what I used to be? Or is it just circumstances that for 29 weekends you have not gotten to victory lane?
I kind of chuckle. I mean, only 29 races, you know? Yeah, I mean, I won 3 last year. I guess so. I don't think that way. You know, at the end of last year, there was layers of high frustration and some embarrassment that we just couldn't get things going in the right direction. You know, this year we've improved every week and have seen great strides. So I'm very optimistic that success is out there in front of us and around the corner. But I through it all, you know, I live in the moment and understand where I am, where our team is, and what we're dealing with as a company. And you know, I know the journey that we're on. I know what's happening internally to build a better product, to better use our resources, to build a better think tank, if you will, and how all the crew chiefs work together. So you know, there's a journey of growth right now going on at the company. So sure, I'm reminded every week of a streak that's not one that you want to be reminded of, but I'm not losing sleep over it. I know I'm going to win races. I know this team's going to win races. I know we're going to compete for championships. It's just getting all of our stuff right. You know, I think people often take for granted how competitive pro sports are and how competitive this garage area is. And although we've been able to do some pretty amazing things that have never been done before, I think it's unfair to think and to believe that it can last forever. What we did to win 5 in a row was pretty darn special. You know, no one's ever done that before. Cale won 3 in a row would be the next closest one. So I do hold myself to a very high level of expectation, but I just think that in society today it's real easy. It doesn't matter if it's our sport or another sport. It's just there's some unfair expectations put on people and on teams and individuals, and I just think people often forget how difficult it is to compete at a pro level.
Thank you.
Yep.
We'll go here in the front.
John Haverland with ESPN Albuquerque. Away from the racetrack, what has been like your favorite memory or favorite experience being associated with Lowe's? Like, is there any sponsorship appearance that ever stood out to your mind, like a funny memory, anything like that?
Yeah, with Lowe's, I mean, they've been such a supporter of the Jimmie Johnson Foundation and have given back to communities far and wide and for various reasons. I mean, there are a lot of very heartfelt moments helping people with wildfires, tornado efforts, the hurricane effort. You know, the employees at Lowe's always amaze me. Their willingness to jump in and help in their community or in their area. After hours, during store hours, I mean, there's just countless stories. So I've always had a lot of pride to work for the company, to know and see those stories that take place. And that's on a deeper level, but a fun kind of level. Let's see, right before the season started, we were in Las Vegas for their national sales meeting, and they had a big function where they built, I can't remember, 1,000 bicycles for the Boys and Girls Club in the area. And to have every single store manager in that room from North America, that I think it was 3,500 people running across this huge floor, building bikes, taking them to their check stations to be inspected, and just the whole process. I know some saw what I posted with that. That was so much fun and just a blast and chaos all on a big building with a bunch of adults running around helping kids out. So, you know, many things across the board.
That was this year?
That was this year, yeah.
We'll go here to the middle.
Mark Garrow, PRN. Jimmie, just looking ahead to Texas, you've had a few super speedway races under the Camaro here so far. I mean, how do you guys feel going to Texas, aero package, speed, and do you have what it takes to kind of just keep inching yourself a little bit forward?
Yeah, I definitely feel like we're moving forward. The way the car drove in California, in traffic, out of traffic, the balance between the two situations was really good for us. I was able to pass a lot of cars. Certainly need more speed, but we're developing our product each and every week. So you know, last year the spring race in Texas was really good to us, and we obviously have high hopes going back there as well.
All right, we'll round it up in the front with Jeff.
Jeff Gluck from jeffgluck.com. So when it's this cold outside and you're in the car, I know you said the effects it has on the car, but like, do your hands get cold, or is it one of those things where you're working out so much that you don't feel the temperature? Like, does that have any effect on you personally?
Sure. Once, climbing in the car, everything's cool the first time. Probably 5 laps in, the heat soak from the transmission, the engine, the exhaust pipes, and plus you and they're working. All that comes up to temp, and you're pretty warm from that point. Warm enough to start sweating. Wherever there's air blowing at you, sure, that's probably on the cool side, but you do get up to temp pretty quick. And our cars are just big heaters. We do have some heat shielding going on to protect the foot box, but per NASCAR rules, everything is steel, and steel's a great conductor of heat. So within 15-20 minutes, regardless of the outside air temp, you're sweating pretty good in the car.
So will you still wear like a cool suit?
I won't today. I wear it in the race. It's just kind of the way our cars are built and plumbed and wired and all that kind of stuff. So I'll wear it in the race, but definitely not today.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Jimmie, and good
Cool.
luck this
Thank you.
weekend.